They told you there were 9 planets. They were wrong. They told you Pluto didn't matter. They were very wrong. In the same year scientists demoted Pluto, a secret mission was already on its way to uncover a shocking truth. What it found wasn't a dead rock. It was a vibrant world, more mysterious than we ever imagined. The truth? Pluto isn't a failed planet. It's the king of the solar system's junkyard, the Kuiper Belt. Its orbit is so weird it travels above and below us. It's a ghost on our cosmic plane. So what other secrets is this dwarf planet hiding in the dark? Pluto, the 9th planet from the sun. Or at least that's what they told us in school. But then in 2006, they changed their mind and decided that Pluto wasn't actually a planet anymore, and we should all just forget about it. They underestimated us. They underestimated Pluto. And luckily for everyone, a brave group of scientists were undeterred by the assault on Pluto's reputation. And in the same year that our boy was stripped of his planethood, NASA launched this probe, New Horizons, on a mission to investigate the object formerly known as Planet for the first time, up close and personal. What they found was shocking. We were wrong about Pluto. The people in charge were wrong about Pluto. Everyone had gotten it wrong. Because it turns out that Pluto is so much more than we ever imagined. This thing might not be a planet, but it is one of the most vibrant and mysterious places in our solar system. Now, you might be asking, why did Pluto get demoted from its status as 9th planet in the first place? And as much as I want to say that it was a big conspiracy, it really has more to do with a constant change in how we identify objects in the solar system. And this has been going on for longer than you think. For example, back in the 1800s, when modern astronomy was really starting to kick off, there were like 20 planets in the solar system. Because every time someone spotted a new moon, or even just a big asteroid, they would declare it a new planet. And at a certain point, this had to be reined in. So we started developing pretty strict criteria for what does and does not qualify as a planet. And this has been an ongoing process since then. In 1930, a self-taught astronomer and telescope maker named Clyde Tombaugh was hired to investigate the existence of a hypothetical Planet X. It was believed that there was something weird out in the distant solar system that was interfering with the orbits of Neptune and Uranus, some yet unknown planet. What Tombaugh found after 10 months of observation was a faint light moving slowly through space beyond Neptune. He had gone looking for a new planet, and by all accounts, that's exactly what he found. Even though the rules had tightened since the 1800s, there were still only 2 general criteria for planethood in the 1930s. 1, the object has to be in orbit around the sun. That's why moons don't count, because they orbit planets. And 2, the object had to be unique in its location. That's why asteroids don't count. There are a bunch of them all in the same general location that all pretty much look the same from what we could see at the time. Pluto fit the bill. It appeared to be the only bright object in the distant solar system. Unfortunately for Pluto, that was not the case. The big change came in 2006 when they updated the planetary definition to say that a planet must have enough mass to clear its orbit of other similarly sized objects, meaning that it needs to be the equivalent of a cosmic vacuum cleaner, absorbing all of the stray rock and dust as it passes by. A planet must be the master of its domain. And as it turns out, Pluto is not just sailing through some distant void out there. It's actually just one object in a massive cloud of stuff that has come to be known as the Kuiper Belt. It's like the solar system's junkyard. All of the stuff that didn't get pulled in to form the sun, that the inner planets or the gas giants ended up in a big ring around the outside. And Pluto isn't even the biggest thing in the Kuiper Belt. It's just the brightest thing in the area. That's why we saw it first and just assumed it was alone out there. So they kicked Pluto out of the Planet Club, branding it a dwarf. But as the ink dried on that controversial decision, a lone explorer, NASA's New Horizons probe, was already 9 years deep into its silent journey across the void. It was a 3 billion-mile chase to catch a ghost. Its mission: to reveal the true face of this demoted world. What it found wasn't just data, it was a revelation. It was more spectacular than anyone dared to dream. As New Horizons closed the final 1,000,000 miles, Pluto grew from a faint, blurry dot into a world. And a stunning, impossible feature came into view. A giant, bright heart sprawled across its surface. This wasn't just a cosmic Valentine, this was Sputnik Planitia, a colossal glacier not of water, but of exotic ices like nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. And the most shocking part, it's alive. Scientists believe this vast sea of ice is constantly churning in slow-motion convection cells like a giant frozen lava lamp. This process erases impact craters, constantly renewing its surface over millions of years. This distant world wasn't a dead, cratered rock. It was geologically active today. And bordering this active heartland were mountains. Impossible mountains. Not jagged peaks of rock, but colossal ranges of water ice, frozen so hard at 400 degrees Fahrenheit that it's stronger than granite. Some, like the Tenzing and Hillary Montes, rival the Rocky Mountains in height. Imagine peaks made of solid water, capped with a frost of methane snow, reaching for a dim sky in a place we had dismissed as an inert ball of ice. But perhaps the most poetic and breathtaking discovery came as New Horizons flew past and looked back. Silhouetted against the faint, distant sun, Pluto was encircled by a ghostly, ethereal blue halo. A complex, multi-layered atmosphere far more intricate than any model had predicted. The blue color comes from sunlight scattering off tiny soot-like particles called tholins, created as cosmic rays and solar winds interact with the nitrogen and methane. This tiny world, billions of miles from home, had its own sky, painting a twilight scene in the darkest corner of our solar system. And it wasn't alone in its cosmic dance. Pluto commands a complex family of at least 5 moons. Its largest partner, Charon, is so massive, half Pluto's diameter, that they don't orbit each other in a simple way. Instead, they orbit a common point in space between them, forever locked in a tidal dance, always showing the same face to one another. Charon itself is a world of wonders, with a mysterious dark red polar cap nicknamed Mordor Macula, and vast canyons that dwarf the Grand Canyon. But the biggest secret, the one that could redefine everything, might lie deep beneath the ice. The active heart, the towering mountains, the complex chemistry, it all points to one incredible possibility, a source of internal heat. And where there's heat and ice, there could be liquid. Scientists now believe that deep beneath its frozen shell, Pluto may harbor a vast, slushy, subsurface ocean of water kept liquid by radioactive decay in its rocky core. An ocean on the very edge of the solar system. So is Pluto a planet? After seeing what we've seen, maybe that's the wrong question. New Horizons showed us that Pluto is a world of impossible beauty, shocking complexity, and enduring mystery. It's a place that shattered our expectations and proved that even the smallest, most distant objects can hold the greatest wonders. It taught us that the solar system is far stranger, more active, and more beautiful than we ever knew.